I close my eyes, I can almost see it. When I take a breath, you fill up my lungs. And if my mind worked backwards just for a minute, I'd hold on to you before the memory's gone. I remember you, you lift my spirit. With you high is all I'm feeling. Remember how we felt alive. I remember you, you make me stronger. Can't go without it much longer. Remember, remember, I remember you, you lift my spirit. With you high is all I'm feeling. Remember how we felt alive. I remember you, you make me stronger. Can't go without it much longer. Remember, remember. When I close my eyes, I can almost see it. When I take a breath, you fill up my lungs. And if my mind worked backwards just for a minute, I'd hold on to you before the memory's gone. I remember you, you lift my spirit. With you high is all I'm feeling. Remember how we felt alive. I remember you, you make me stronger. Can't go without it much longer. Remember, remember, I remember you, you lift my spirit. With you high is all I'm feeling. Remember how we felt alive. I remember you, you make me stronger. Can't go without it much longer. Remember, remember. When I close my eyes, I can almost see it. When I take a breath, you fill up my lungs. And if my mind worked backwards just for a minute, I'd hold on to you before the memory's gone. I remember you, you lift my spirit. With you high is all I'm feeling. Remember how we felt Minds work backwards just for a minute. I hold on to you before the memory's gone. I remember you. You left my spirit. With you high is all I'm feeling. Remember how we felt alive. I remember you. You make me stronger. Can't go without it much longer. Remember, remember. I remember you. You left my spirit. With you high is all I'm feeling. Remember how we felt alive. I remember you. You make me stronger. Can't go without it much longer. Remember, remember.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Owlet Tournament. I'm your host and play-by-play caster, Reignbow. We've got an excellent match for you tonight, featuring No versus the Mad Platters. Joining me in the commentary booth tonight is Piper.
How's it going, everybody? Rainbow, it's so nice to be in an Owlet match with you again. I feel like it's been so long since Season 2, and I'm so excited to get into Season 3, although we're in a little bit of a different position here in the caster's booth as opposed to on the playing field.
Yeah, but I'm excited to be experiencing the other side this season.
Oh, as am I, and I think you're right. We are going to have a very good matchup tonight between No and the Mad Platters. Here in our Owlet Major Division, we're going to open up here on Ilios. I'm really excited for this map. Personally, I love Ilios. What about you, Rainbow?
Oh, I absolutely love Ilios. As a Lucio player, it is heaven.
Yeah, it really is, and I wouldn't be surprised here if we saw a lot of these team compositions, including a Lucio, especially because of the fact that if you're on Well or even on Lighthouse, you really get the opportunity to go for some big boops. Plus, in the bunker compositions that we've seen of late, I mean, Lucios have been really popular as a support, especially with, you know, heroes like Doomfist coming into the meta as really dominant DPS. Lucio is really good at avoiding those Doomfist punches, so maybe we'll get to see some Lucio here, and I'm really excited to get into it here.
Yeah, so it looks like we are going to be starting on Lighthouse going forward. So what do we think we're going to be seeing from the tank lines?
I would not be shocked at all if we saw Orisa Sigma, especially on this map where you can just kind of turtle on the point. It's been so strong lately, and honestly, there's not really a good way for teams to counter that yet. Reinhardt kind of lacks the ability to get up in the face of an Orisa Sigma because Rein can't poke without putting his shield down. And Zarya can get some value, but really, really struggles.
Yeah, well, speaking of that, looks like on the side of the Mad Platters, we are seeing a Rein Zarya combo on the tank line.
Yeah, I'm a little shocked by that. They're going to really need to work hard to make it work here. Party Rooster really going to have to make sure that their bubble cooldowns are used effectively. And Pups is going to be in a really tough position. Do they shield? Do they swing away? They have to be really, really careful about that sort of thing. And I'm not at all surprised by this composition coming out by No. It's going to be very strong and very hard for the Mad Platters to counter here.
Thanks for the
Yeah, so already getting the poke in, both teams making a mad dash to the point, but Mad Platters get there first, so it is No looking to contest them there.
Yeah, we'll have to see what No's going to do here to try to make an entrance. Kai getting into a little bit of trouble, but able to escape. But here's where the issues are really going to come in for No. How are they going to get these kills? But
oh, that is a quick cap right there. They didn't connect that. Oh, and two are off the cliff. Not sure what happened there. But they're still fighting this out on side No, and they're actually coming up with these kills. And, yep, that's going to be the quick point take for No.
Yeah, I'm not at all surprised by that. No just kind of postured outside of the point. Let the Mad Platters take that space there. And there's really nothing that Pups and Party Rooster could do. They can't poke back at Paper and Collywog. They really have no choice but to just kind of sit on point, hard shielding, and just die. They need to make a swap here because they're not going to get anything with it. And they don't have anything contesting Scars in the sky either.
Oh, but you have two going down immediately at the start of this fight for Mad Platter, or for No. So this looks like it's gonna be a very quick fight when coming in. But they do still launch the barrage, but it's kind of a waste since everyone was pretty much already dead.
Yeah, I don't know the theory there about bringing out that barrage by Scars, but everybody else on your team's already dead. You're not going to swing a fight that way. Even if you survive, it's just not likely to happen. I really am not sure what happened there, how Paper, fell so fast. The supports here for No is really going to need to do a better job of staying alive. 6 sleep there by Ghosty as we're talking about supports onto Scars, though.
Yeah, opening with the window here for No, seeing if they can get some picks before going in. Not looking so successful so far, but slowly inching forward towards the point.
Ooh,
oh,
tough.
but that is KY going down.
Yeah, Kai there got into a really bad position. We'll have to see if Pups is going to be able to turn it around here.
Oh, yep, and they're No's getting the kills here. Really cleaning up in this fight. Oh, Collywalk getting 2 there, right at the end.
Yeah, and here's the issue here, if you are, the Mad Platters, is that Pups and Party Rooster, again, just kind of have to sit back on point. They can't take the space against Paper and Collywalk because the Orisa Sigma have so much more poke than a Ryan Zarya. You can't move forward without being poked into oblivion because Ryan has to put his shield down in order to swing. So very, very rough, very difficult composition to play into here.
They're really getting in here and trying to move up on this tank line, but it looks like the advantage still coming out, but we get a sound barrier coming out from Lucio on Mad Platters. But it's very even fight, but it looks like Mad Platters is going to be heading out now. Yep, I lost that.
Yeah, I mean, the only play here for, the Mad Platters to make is to make a mad dash to the point, and that's not going to work very well, because the whole time you have Scars, Collywog, Paper doing their best to poke, and, I mean, Purple Worm and Kai are very limited in what they can do DPS-wise, whereas Laser Blitz and Scars have the opportunity to take, more flanking angles, make more things happen, and a huge,
immediately starting out with a huge barrage there.
Yeah, that's a good way to finish off this point with a 4K barrage. Purple Worm, that's not gonna cut it.
He tried, but did not work there. And that's gonna be the point cap. Pretty easily right there.
Yeah, really good round there coming out from No. I think they just played the superior composition. We need to see something different here from the Mad Platters in these later rounds if they want something to happen, because they're not gonna get anything done with the composition they're running. Ball Diva would be interesting.
So,
okay.
do you that last map was very even. Do you think if they were playing the same comp, that Mad Platters could have pulled it out there?
Oh, 100%. I think that Mad Platters, the fact that they were able to make it as close as they did with an far inferior composition shows that they have a lot of quality on their side. But if they want to string some victories together here, they need to play more optimal compositions. Diva, well, not a terrible pick. I don't think Diva gets a lot of synergy with an Orisa. I think that Diva really lacks a lot of kit that makes Orisa so good with Sigma and a Hog, for instance. I'm just not sure what kind of value you're going to get out of the Diva pick here.
Yes, they're coming out with a Bastion, which is an interesting pick here, I gotta say. I don't think I've seen Bastion played on this map, like in any recent time. But so far no kills going on right now. It's just kind of poking back and forth, but it looks like Mad Platters is getting the point here.
Yeah, and No have shown us this a lot. They've shown us big pick there by Kai on the Ochre. Oh my! Oh my!
Going off, getting a 3K right there. Yeah, that is just pure domination with that Widow. You really love to see Widow on Ruins. She can dominate so well on this map.
That was absolutely huge. And what I was trying to say is that what we've seen from No is that they like to play a slower, more posturing fight. But man, oh man, does that not work when Kai finds those angles, because your whole head's teams are just gonna have their heads explode. So really great stuff there from Kai, kind of shutting down that slow building push that No is going for. And good work from the Mad Platters, really punishing them for taking a slower fight and letting them get this first point cap.
Okay, but you do have them, we do have No coming in here. Tried to wall off the Bastion there, but didn't work. KOI getting a pick on the main tank, which does not spell a good fight for No here. Again, seemed to mess up the wall on the Bastion. They're kind of just hanging out in that back corridor. Probably waiting for their main tank at least a little bit here. Or try to get picks. Oh, they finally get the wall and push the Bastion up. But they're kind of going back and forth here. But looks like the advantage is still going to Mad Platters, and yeah, I think they're going to be pulling this out with the Rose. But you know, still a chance for No to do some work. But no, yeah, it's lost to them going down in that fight.
Yeah, Purple Worm, they're really coming in. They're just... It's been flipped now. The DPS combination that's being played here by No is not something I would really think to see going into a Bastion. I don't know what value the Mei really gets out of it. Yes, you have a wall, but that's not really that useful, especially when you have a lot of shield, especially that Sigma shield.
Oh, the Gravitic Flux is gonna do a lot of damage here to this bunker. And the bomb not gonna be getting anything, mainly just a remech there. Going back and forth, the kills staying pretty even. 2 DPS down, 1 on each side. But the drums, I think, are going to really be giving it to No here. They finally get the point in Ruins.
Yeah, bit of a sloppy fight there from the Mad Platters, I thought. I mean, they did good to counter that Gravitic Flux with the lamp coming out from Ghosty, but they didn't quite reposition themselves after that. Smart move here by Kai swapping over to the Doomfist. I think that Doomfist is going to get a lot more value, especially into this comp being run by No. And the only reason for that here is that if Kai plays this Doomfist well and postures properly, they can get some big impact kills onto some of the key supports of No.
Oh, the Death Blossom coming out and takes out one of the supports for Mad Platters, but it does get rezzed up. But it looks like there's too many deaths on the side of Mad Platters, and I don't think they're going to be able to pull this one out. They only have a few stragglers left.
Yeah, Fishy's Forever there made a big play. The fact that she was able to pull off that res made it so that they had to throw out that mail, and without that mail, that's really going to put them at a big disadvantage here. The only thing I would like to see is Party Rooster swapping off that D.Va onto a different hero like a Hog or a Sigma. I feel like either of those picks would get more value. If you put the Hog in, you have the Halt Hook combination, which can find you some really big picks onto Scars, Laser Bits, you know, name any of the squishies, or even a tank. You know, Halt Hook is really good for that. And if you swap over that Sigma, you have more shield, you have more poke, you're going to get more done. I just don't think that D.Va's the right pick to synergize with an Orisa, especially in this composition.
Yeah, and I was supposed to say, surprised you aren't seeing the Roadhog, since Party Rooster said it was one of his main signature heroes for off-tank.
Yeah, and I think Hog's a really strong pick, especially at this level. Kai's going to get frozen up there and taken out early. That's pretty unfortunate. And we can kind of talk after this kind of why they got taken out there, but we're going to see Purple Worm trading out Laser Blitz, but this is a huge Gravitic Flux.
Yeah. 2 ults, that is likely to take down the entire team there, but maybe not, because they aren't getting the kills here quite yet. Yep, now they are, and that's probably going to be the cleanup on this point for No. They just kind of have the ults to really win out that fight. They were able to just kind of throw it out there, but, you know, some stragglers still coming around. Something might happen here, but it's very unlikely.
No, I think this is done and dusted. Our first map is going to go the way of No. I just think the whole time that No played the better comps than what we saw the Mad Platters playing. And I mean, obviously we're going to get to see Scar's Sick Barrage here, and the Pharaoh was, you know, an instrumental part in this good bunker comp coming out here from No. But I think the Mad Platters, once they switched off that bunker comp, or the Bastion bunker comp on the second point there on Ruins, I think they really put themselves at a disadvantage. Kai's Doom, I didn't like how Kai was playing Doom. Usually with a Doomfist, you have to look for better staging than just jumping out of your team at the other team. You need to, you know, find perches, you need to position yourself, use your cooldowns to find better positioning before you engage, and Kai just wasn't doing that, and we saw it when they jumped in, immediately frozen up by a Mei and headshot. you know, you shouldn't even be in a position where the Mei is going to be able to freeze you the second you engage into their team. So you need to do better work if you're going to be playing that Doomfist into the Orisa Sigma comp, because it is a good pick to counter that composition, but you need to play the Doom properly into that. And again, the D.Va as well. D.Va was just a suboptimal pick for an Orisa off-tank because it's not getting a lot of value. Yes, you have DM, but DM's been nerfed. It's not as strong as it used to be. And D.Va's kind of, at this stage in the game, D.Va doesn't provide with an Orisa the same value as a Hog, whereas Hog kind of has more raw damage output and also combos really well with his the Halt Hook combo, or a Sigma, where Sigma just has that so much extra shield and better long-range poke than a D.Va. So Mad Platters are really going to need to dig deep here and figure out what compositions they want to run, because they need to run better comps, that's for sure.
Yeah, well, speaking of Kai and how in his Doomfist play, I imagine he's just learning it recently because he is a self-proclaimed Widow one-trick. As we saw from his pop-off at the beginning of Ruins there. So it's possible that he is just now learning Kai to fit with or just now learning Doomfist to fit with the current meta.
Yeah, that's totally possible as well. That could totally be a possibility, and I would not be surprised by that at all. A lot of DPS players, I feel like, kind of ignored Doom after he kind of got nerfed into Oblivion. But now that Sigma's here, you need somebody that can just punch right through those shields and get really big impact frags, and that honestly, that Doomfist and their positioning with Doom.
So we're kind of cutting out here. Yeah. Okay, Piper's cutting out.
Oh, my apologies if I am cutting out here. We are going to get into our second map here, Reignbow. I'm very excited for Hanamura.
Yes, me too. It's one of my favorite 2CP maps. If it's possible to like a 2CP map, I would like Hanamura.
I would generally agree with that sentiment, and I'm going to be very interested to see what we are going to, you know, kind of get up to here with these teams. I would not be surprised to see No bringing out more Orisa Sigma. Mad Platters, I don't know, man. I feel like their tank line has been weaker, not in terms of their gameplay, but in terms of the compositions they've been running. And Overwatch, especially in a team environment, you need to have good compositions. So that's what I'm looking for the Mad Platters to kind of improve here.
Yeah, I'm hoping we'll see some Ryan Sigma, at least on defense, or at least a Ryan Roadhog. I understand if they may not be as comfortable playing it on attack, but I'm hoping to see it on defense here.
Honestly, in this day and age of Overwatch, everything you thought you knew about if a hero was offensively, defensively minded, throw it out the window. You want to play Orisa Hog on attack and go for aggressive Halt Hook combos? Who cares, you know? You want to, I don't know, like, do some crazy stuff? Go for it, you know? You just kind of gotta... The game is not the same that it used to be, especially with the introduction of Sigma, and you need to take that into consideration about how you're playing these heroes. And I feel like teams are very hesitant to move into this new meta, but it is a new meta. Sigma really has changed things quite drastically, and you need to adapt.
Yeah, that is very true. But let's see what these teams are going to be picking for Hanamura. We have No starting off on defense, it looks like.
Yeah, we're going to see no change here from the teams. Mad Platter's still going to be in red, and No is still going to be in the blue. Hopefully we won't have to change it at any point throughout this match. Got 15 seconds. Well, thereabouts 15 seconds, you know. Who's guessing? To see what they're going to bring in here. Now, Reignbow, what do you think? What would you want to see here? If it's you and me back in the good old days playing together, what would you want us to play on this map?
You know, that's kind of a hard decision. I wish Dive was meta. Dive's a lot of fun to play. So I always love a good dive on attack here. But I imagine there's an actual possibility of us seeing some Sim on attack, get some of those Sim teleporter strats. Those are always so much fun.
Yeah, I saw there were some really good sim teleport strats that came up initially when we were doing the preseason here in Owlet. And it was Burn. Burn had this excellent sim bastion teleport strat where they would start up at the point, and then, or they would start up at the main choke there at the doorway, and then they would teleport back to the back left of the point the minute that the other team started to put pressure on them, and it wasted so many resources for the other team. It was absolutely huge. I am not a fan, however, of this sim teleport strat that we're seeing right now.
Because by the Bastion, Bastion's always fun to bring in. It's so cheesy and I love it, but we already have some people on point with the sim coming in on the attack. But they, No just immediately teleports over to start contesting here. And they're taking out Mad Platters very quickly here.
Yeah, that was a very good cleanup there coming in from No. They knew what they needed to do and they cleaned up. Good work there. I like that Scars kind of stayed up top on that little ledge. You know, putting a flank angle with a Bastion down is very hard for another team to counter. I am happy that Pups and Ghosty are bringing out this Orisa Sigma. They're just going to have to do a little bit more to try to make it work here. And I'm interested to see how well this DPS duo of a Symmetra and Doomfist are going to play out. But we'll have to see.
Yeah, I forgot how the interactions go with the teleport, but I imagine it could get very interesting. Here, right now we're just kind of poking at the choke, going for the teleport again. They're on the point, and looks like the teleporter went down. They're teleporting over and going to contest, but there's already a tick from Mad Platters here. Got very close to getting another one. You have the window coming out from No to try to get more damage in here, and it looks like it is working. Scars is cleaning up, along with Laser Blitz here.
Yeah, but they let in 2 ticks.
Yeah, they did let in 2 ticks, which is a shame, which means, you know, it's very easy. They could just accidentally let Mad Platters cap the point on the next push.
We just need to see.
It's happened to me. It's not fun.
Yeah, they have to be very careful here. They're in a precarious position for sure. The one thing I've noticed, though, is Ghosty is using their shield very, very early. I mean, Purple can use that teleport without the shield being up, and it's causing a lot of wasted shield, which is less than ideal. I mean,
this time we're seeing teleport onto the point from No, which is smarter to make sure they're contesting, so that last tick doesn't go down. Yeah, really getting those kills here. Laser Blitz putting in that work again. Really doing well in this Metro, it seems. I don't think we've seen Laser mess up really on this Metro. Which it's pretty easy to do, honestly.
Yeah, the other thing too is like, Ghosty's always the last one on point, so they're lacking a lot of shields. They don't have anybody putting pressure on the Bastion. Kai's swap here over to Mei, I don't really think is the best swap that you can make here. I think something like a Sombra or, I don't know, you just need something else here, and I don't think a Mei is really it.
See, Sombra might be good, but with the Symmetra you have those turrets, which is going to prevent the Sombra from doing a lot of work. But they're back on the point contesting me. The shield up from Mad Platters to try to get some safety in here for them as they get the kills. But not a lot of kills coming in. The shield comes up from No as well, and it's really just kind of going back and forth here. But Ghosty has gone down, which is a very important player for them. Kind of going back and forth. We're losing DPS players here and there. But a lot of presence still there, except Pup goes down, and that's going to be that for the Mad Platters push right there. They only have 30 seconds left to get back and make one final push.
Yeah, and they made lots of DPS swaps here, so they haven't really gotten a lot of those DPS ultimates. I mean, Purple Worm swapped over off that. We're going to see them set up here on the back of point, which might actually open things up here for the Mad Platters. I don't know if I really agree with this positioning. Laser Blitz here as well on the
Tracer.
Yeah, I think Laser Blitz died really late in the fight there, so...
Oh, they don't even touch the point.
Oh my.
It's a misplay, but I'm not sure they would have been able to pull it out even if they had made it to point. But, you know, there's always a possibility, and it's a shame they weren't able to touch there, so you didn't get to see that last fight.
Initiating match.
Yeah, so, I'm surprised that they didn't touch there. I mean, you at least got to give yourself a chance to win that fight. But they did get at least 2 ticks, so they do have a chance if they can get a hold here against No, but Mad Platters are just kind of looking lost about what their game plans are. I mean, Pups and Ghosty are playing, the Orisa Sigma dominant tank combination, but Ghosty Sigma has seemed a little lackluster. I feel like Ghosty maybe is not as comfortable on the Sigma, perhaps, because it is a newer hero. Not everybody's had the time to put into it, so maybe that's it. And I feel like the DPS, combinations have not been that great. Kai here on the Mei is all right. I'm gonna be happy to see Purple Worm here on the Pharah. Kai on the Mei is gonna be interesting, but it's not gonna help much if they're doing a teleport strat anyways. So to me, honestly, the better pick for Kai here, why not go for a Widow or a Hanzo or something like that? I feel like those would be viable picks, and even if they're not as meta, I feel like that's just playing to Kai's strengths. As we saw, Kai very good on that Widowmaker. Why not play to your strengths here if you're getting beat in the compositional matchup anyways?
Yeah, it's very true. Sometimes, playing meta isn't the way to go if you can't play meta. Sometimes just make your own strats and you can do a lot of work on them.
Yeah, and I mean,
other teams and Fish going down really early, which is not looking good for the defense. Coming up here.
Yeah, Purple Worm there scraped Fishies. Very unfortunate. Nothing Fishies could do about it. That's all on Purple Worm for letting that happen.
Yeah, already on the point here for No. A really in-your-face fight with the, Orisa. But Lace Blitz getting 4 kills here is really just doing that work, and that looks like that's gonna be a point I don't think anyone can contest here. Yeah.
Yep, No's gonna pick up our second map here. I mean, the minute that Fishies dies, which was no fault of her own, it was all on Purple Worm for going for that aggressive, kind of pre-strike. You don't need to do that. That's just unnecessarily risky, and it showed. Fishies goes down, and all of a sudden your fight's over. You've lost that fight. You've lost your main support. You're done. Can't recover.
Yeah, it is just such an unfortunate pick that, could definitely have been prevented there. But either way, they still had plenty of more fights there. And I'm sure No probably could have won out in the end, despite, either way, even if the mistake hadn't been made. A mistake's gonna happen at some point, and it just happened earlier there.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate. I mean, what can you do? Mistakes happen. But now, No is going to be up 2-0 in our series, and it's going to really be up to the Mad Platters here to dig in deep and come back after halftime. We are going to take a real quick break here as the teams take their halftime, and we'll be right back with more Owlet action.
When I take a breath, you fill up my lungs. And if my mind works backwards just for a minute, I hold on to you before the memory's gone. I remember you. You left my spirit with you high is all I'm feeling. Remember how we felt alive. I remember you. You make me stronger. Can't go without it much longer. Remember, remember. I
welcome back. This is No vs. Mad Platters, and we are going to be heading into King's Row here after the half. Right now it's 2-0 in favor of No here. What are we looking for in King's Row?
I am personally very excited for King's Row. I absolutely love this map. And I mean, you kind of have to if you're a Gladiators fan, you know. Pretty much all the great Gladiators moments happened on this map. The great Bamboozle, perhaps one of the greatest play in Overwatch League history to this day. Gotta love it. So I'm really excited to see what these teams are going to bring to the table here. I feel like there's a lot that could happen, especially with, you know, the differences that you get in a hybrid map. You know, the fact that it's a static first point, very much like, you know, a first point on a 2CP, but then it transitions into that kind of, you know, escort the payload phase. I'm very excited for it. We are going to get a pause here, though. Big shocker. I got all excited for nothing.
So what do you think we're going to be seeing here from these two teams?
Well, just to note, the Mad Platters are now in blue and No are now in red, just to confuse everybody. But, I don't know. I think Orisa Sigma is definitely on the table here. But, I mean, if it was me prepping my team for this kind of matchup here, I'd be definitely just looking to go super simple with the meta, play, you know, a very simple Reaper, Doom, Orisa Sigma, you know, get the Moira and Lucio for your support line. I think that really, to me, I really think that that's the way to go with what I'd be playing here. I would play into the meta, but from what we've seen for the Mad Platters, they've kind of struggled with that. And also, you know, other viable options too would be maybe a Hanzo. You can sometimes get some cheeky picks when shields are down, or maybe some Mei, or, you know, I'm blanking on here. Symmetra. We just saw a lot of Symmetra here. But I also wouldn't be surprised if we saw some sniper play as well from these teams, especially, you know, Kai showed us that they were very competent on that Widowmaker. Interesting choice here to go with the Ashe. I know this is a very popular opinion at this level that Ashe's Dynamite is really good against shields, but it's just, to me, it's not a be-all, end-all ability, but I know teams really prefer it, and I feel like if Scars is going to stay on this Widow, Kai is going to really struggle to win those duels. Interesting that Paper Sore and Collywog are going to come out here for No with a Rein Zarya. Obviously, Reinhardt Zarya very popular on this map, but I don't know how well it's going to work here with an Orisa Sigma, but Scars with a really big opening boosted shot onto Pups. Almost takes Pups' life.
We do get switches coming out, looks like. And Scars going to the Reaper after getting those initial shots on Widow.
Yeah, I think that this Reaper Doom is going to be a good swap here. Laser Blitz can go on a bit of a flank, get a good staging angle. Scars can obviously teleport up. I mean, at this point, Scars is actually just sitting on point, forcing a contest. That's going to break the position of the Mad Platters, which is absolutely huge, especially if Scars can get out here.
And they all drop down there, and Doom tries to go into the backline, but the entire Mad Platters is behind No right now.
Other way around.
Or no, other way around. No is behind Mad Platters. The colors are confusing me. And Fishy goes down, which is not good for the Mad Platters here on the defense, but they are getting those kills, so they will be able to recover here, it looks like. And No is going to have to be backing out here.
Yeah, that was kind of a bit of a sloppy attack to me.
Oh, but Kai gets taken down, so that's a stagger there.
Yeah, but it's not going to be a huge stagger, I don't think. If I'm the Mad Platters, just play a little bit more passively. You know they're going to press the advantage. Expect it. Maybe use an ultimate or two, and you're going to win this fight anyways.
Yeah, the DPS going down first. You lose all your damage, which you really need right here.
Yeah, but here's the thing. This is a really good hold, and the ult economy is really starting to build up in favor of the Mad Platters. They're doing a very good job with this defense here. Laser Blitz swapping over to the Genji. I don't know how good of a pick that's going to be. I like the Doomfist pick, especially because you can get a big kill on a support or one of the other, like Kai maybe. I just think that they were kind of playing their attacks a little bit sloppily. To me, you know, when that first attack was really a good example of it. Scars went in, wraithed out, and then the rest of No started attacking. but Scars never really came back on that hard flank.
Oh,
Good
Kai's
pick
going
from
down
him.
for Scars though.
Good pick.
They're going
but
around the back again, as the Genji dives solo into the entire bunker, which is very interesting there. They pop window and tank, and they take down Laser Blitz, which is not a surprise because very alone right there. We have No on the top right there, just trying to get some poke in, take someone out. And they're gonna be having some DPS coming back from main. That guy Tyler is very separated from his team right now, over trying to keep Laser Blitz off, but we have the Death Blessing coming in, but the Immortality Field going down, protecting everyone right there, keeping everyone alive. We pop the bongos to get some damage in here, take out everyone that's left, and it goes very successfully. That's gonna be the push there.
yeah, and the start of that fight there, Laser Blitz getting popped right at the beginning. That's kind of what I was talking about. They're making these flanking maneuvers with the flankers, but they're not coordinated. Laser Blitz dived in there, but nobody was there to follow up, not even the tank line. So they have their DPS on these flanks, but they're coming at moments when the tanks aren't doing anything. The tanks aren't there to take any space, create any space. They're not doing anything. And then they're out of the fight when the tanks are in the fight. It's very sloppy, and it's not going to win you any fights. But Scar's going big here with a 2K.
Yeah, Scar's taking down 2, and that's going to be very powerful for this fight to get a sound barrier coming down. And the Riddick Flux, though, coming back from Mad Platters here, trying to get some people, and that's going to help Purple Worm take down 2 on the side of No. But Pups does go down, and Purple Worm goes down, and I think that is, not looking good for Mad Platters on defense here. We get the Bob thrown in to try to clean them up, but Scar is taking down 2 more again. But we do have Tyler taking down 2 right there, but the Gravitic Flux coming back. See how many it can take out here. Fishies goes down again, and I think that that might be the cleanup there for No on this attack, but maybe we have 2 people still on the point right now, but they are going down. We only have Ball, and Kai's coming in with the Tracer. That was 1 tick down right there. Ghosty goes down, and Kai goes down, so I think that we're finally going to be done with that contest there, and Mad Platters needs to back up, get together, and go on and get the contest as they come out.
And they were so dang close to that full hold. I felt it in my blood, but then Scars came in with a two-man pick against a support and a DPS. You can't allow that to happen, and that's really what kind of let it all to fall apart there for the Mad Platters. Interesting swap Kai over to this McCree. I'm going to be interested to see how this is going to work out, because there's Laser Blitz and Scars that Kai is going to have to try to save that flashbang for. Who does he use it for?
Coming down
Scars coming in with the Death Blossom!
Into a 4K right there! Scar is really just refusing to lose this map in any way whatsoever.
That's exactly what I was talking about. The problem with Kai, who does he save that flashbang for? And Kai used it already on Laser Blitz, but missed it. Laser Blitz was able to get out anyways, and then Scars comes in and wrecks your whole team, and that's where you go, I wish I had my flashbang. So, really unfortunate there, but they do have a minute 30 here. It's still very winnable for them because they're going to get a contest here, and the ult economy is in their favor.
Yeah, just kind of poking back and forth. Laser coming in, getting out very successfully. Kind of just pushing forward towards each other slowly. We do have the coalescence coming out from Tyler, trying to get someone, but doesn't look like it's going to be getting anyone right now. Just kind of still poking back and forth for a little bit. We do get the barrier coming out from No to try to get some aggression here and push them back so they can get this point. The fist comes down and gets 2 right there, and gets another one. Laser Blitz getting a 4K in that fight to get them the point.
That's what I'm talking about a good and engaged by a Doomfist. Laser Blitz there with that ultimate just went for the big punch into the middle of their team, and then immediately pressed Q, wasn't playing any games, waited, came down, and immediately had all those cooldowns back, ready to destroy the Mad Platters. And what was a really good A defense has quickly fallen apart here for the Mad Platters. They have yet to stem the tide that is No.
Yeah, so already halfway through 3rd point, we have the bongos coming down to get some damage in here, try to get some picks. It looks like we're full shields very low. But we have the drones coming down from No as well. But Tyler taking down 2 on the side of No. We do have the Gravitic Flux coming in. Didn't look like it killed anyone though. And Kai getting 2 on the side of Mad Platters, and they have retaken the point.
This seems to be a composition that's working a little bit better here for No. That guy or for the Mad Platters, sorry. That guy Tyler is an incredibly good Moira, using those coalescences at the best opportunity. Kai actually playing a good Symmetra right now. If they can keep that up, that's going to be good. Purple Worm needs to find a little bit more here on the Reaper, but is also making a difference because right now Kai is being that carry DPS. So all Purple Worm has to do is, you know, not feed their brains out, put a little bit of pressure on No, and you're golden, which is exactly what Purple Worm's doing right now.
Coming in with the Death Blossom again. Doesn't get anyone, gets taken out, but Laser Blitz does get a kill on Kai, which is a lot of DPS lost from the side of Mad Platters. And looks like Purple also went for the Blossom, but died as well. We do have Laser Blitz kind of getting in on the back line there. It hasn't gotten any kills yet. Coming in with the Doomfist. Ult, I forgot what it's called, Meteor Strike. Trying to take someone out. Doesn't get anyone, but Ochre does get a boop onto Pups, and Laser Blitz doing a lot of work there, taking people out. Kind of coming back in here with those kills. Trying to get some work done, and Purple goes down again, getting beat to try to get some aggression here, and Tyler going down, Pups going down, really just taking out all these contests very quickly, but they do need to take out the Lucio and the Sigma still. Try to get a boop there, but wasn't successful. Ghosty does take down Scars, but we do have more contests coming in here, which could quickly overwhelm them, but Ogre takes down the other Lucio, and it is just kind of going back and forth here. Ogre with another boop. It looks like Purple getting some damage done here, but does get taken down. It is kind of going very back and forth with kills here, but it looks like it is going to be coming out for Mad Platters here, right at the end, but maybe not, who knows, because we just lost a main support and a off-tank. So we are really just kind of cleaning up here, maybe, for Mad Platters. We only have 3 left here, but they do pop down the bongos, and coming in, oh, and they get launched off the point with that Gravitic Flux, it looked like.
Yeah, the combination of the Gravitic Flux and Laser Blitz using that Doomfist ultimate, they were off the point for too long, and because they stalled that fight for so long, the overtime wick was willing to go down so fast that they weren't able to get back on that point. And if I'm the Mad Platters, I'm sitting back in my chair after that, you know, hold, and I'm going, well, it could have been better, but this is winnable. Definitely winnable for the Purple Worm there.
Definitely.
I'm not sure if that was just a little lucky combination, but showing some really good Doomfist there, using it as a stall hero. So I'd be interested to see Purple Worm on that more, and maybe Kai playing more of that Reaper hit scan role. Because generally, the way teams have been playing this into the new meta is the hit scan player is the one that plays the Reaper. You know, obviously LA Gladiators, perfect example. Surefour hit scan player playing that Reaper, and then you have the Flex or projectile player playing that Doomfist, right? So I'm surprised that we've seen it kind of the other way around. The attack Bastion would be ballsy, to say the least, at this point. I don't know how well it would work out, though. Another thing...
And we've seen it now, I believe.
We have.
So it's not out of the question.
I'm just not a fan of it. I think that you can do better than attack Bastion. Let's be real. Kai Sim too. Kai was kind of popping off on Sim there at the end, so... And Purple Worm has shown they're a good Bastion, so maybe this is the composition that they need? I don't know. Like I said, they've kind of been beaten in that meta battle, so why not? Just go for things you're comfortable with, make it happen.
So I just noticed, Ochre is playing the Zen on defense here. I haven't seen Zen in so long. What are your thoughts on that? The fight's get started.
I don't think it's enough healing here. Moiraine on the Baptiste, Ochre on the Zen, it's not enough. I mean, Scar's getting a sick right click onto the head of Kai. Obviously, that's helpful. But man, oh man, I do not think that this is going to be enough healing for these supports, especially when Kai and Purple Worm are able to get into good DPS positions and put pressure onto the tank line of No. They're going to run into a lot of problems with not having enough healing, because Lamp can only stay up for so long.
Yeah, kind of just waiting to push back in here again. They're kind of rotating around statue, trying to push up towards point. Just kind of going back and forth, and they teleport to the other side of point here, but it's looking very cut off right now. But everyone's still kind of surviving there. Take down a mortality field, and they're kind of being surrounded a lot right now, but Purple's putting in that work, trying to get kills, but Purple is down now. You know, and they don't have a Moira to res it or anything, so it's going down, but they are still getting a lot of kills here, and they may still be able to win this despite that. I'm not exactly sure what happened there, I'm really gonna be honest, but we do have Platters winning that out.
I did my best to hold in my laughter, but Scars was sitting on the head of Purple Worm for that whole fight, and literally was just sitting there pressing right click in the Purple Worm.
That's absolutely amazing.
That was hilarious, but that was a good attack here coming in from the Mad Platters. That's exactly what they needed to do. The ult economy not really in their favor right now because they had to use a couple to secure it, but that's okay. This is very winnable for them. They have a good time bank. I'm excited to see what's going to happen here.
And Gravitic Flux coming out. Getting 3! That was huge! So it looks like, Mad Player's going to have to back off here before the rest of them lose their heads.
You see, and this is why I don't agree with Fishies Forever playing the Baptiste on the side of the Mad Platters. In this composition, you really got to be looking to play a Lucio, because Lucio's beat charges up at about the same rate as a Gravitic Flux, and the nice thing about it is that you can beat as you're getting grabbed, pretty much. So it's huge because it counters it, right? All that health, the Gravitic Flux can't just burst through it. Unfortunate Purple goes down first here, but we should be able to see a quick stabilization, quick reset here, and then they'll push back in.
Yeah. Yeah, just kind of poking at each other, waiting for Fishies to come, or Purple to come back. I'm not remembering her name. Starting off with a wall and a coalescence here, trying to get some picks and some protection as you push in to the point here. And a Gravitic Flux coming out as 3 ult from Mad Platters here. Not getting much though. It's even both have lost their Doomfist, but we are losing a lot. It's kind of going back and forth here, really. Kolowik actually takes himself out with his primary fire, I believe. Getting a bit of a stall here from Scars, but needs to back up here and try to make it out with Paper Sword, but does not manage to, and that's going to be a backup from now.
And you see, here's the problem with holding that close as the defenders, is that once the fight is even if you trade evenly for the duration of the fight, the attackers have the advantageous respawn in this position. So, of course, on second point, they're going to be able to win it out, especially around that first elbow.
Yeah, so they are kind of coming back in here, taking a quick fight, putting the drums down, get damage in, and a Meteor Strike coming down doesn't really connect with anyone, but Laser Blitz does get 2 immediately after with the damage done, and that is quickly taking out Mad Platters right there. They did not make much progress on that payload.
No, but they made enough here that they can kind of get out of the spawn camp position that they are in. Purple Worm, I would have liked to see more Doom and see Kai swap over to the Reaper here. Another thing here, Laser Blitz has had very good Doomfist play here. The only way really for them to counter that, honestly, is Ghosty needs to be on top of things with that accretion. That big rock, when you yeet it at somebody, it knocks them on their butt. And it makes it super easy to focus them and take it out, which is what you need for a Doomfist. Because when a Doomfist gets that kind of combination going, it's really hard to stop. So using that accretion to kind of take out Laser Blitz as they're coming in would be absolutely massive. And look, they didn't
picked out early from Laser Blitz.
Yeah,
but they're still pushing in with Coalescence.
Yeah, that guy Tyler has made very good effect of some Coalescence, but I don't know if it's going to be enough here with the ults coming in.
Oh, you did get Immortality, which did prevent some deaths with the Gravitic Flux, but Purple goes down, so they have no TPS really right now on the side of... I'm forgetting everything. Laser Blitz takes out 2 with the Meteor Strike, and then takes out Tyler, and they're pushing back. They only have 1 more minute to push to point C. My brain is dead, honestly.
That's okay. Who needs brains anyways when Laser Blitz is just rocket punching them into the wall and painting a very pretty, if not demented picture. I mean, they haven't been able to counter him. And Ghosty, I just talked about needing to use that accretion to kind of counter Laser, because Laser's not even going for really creative flanking stages. Laser is just punching in to their comp, and there's nobody there to counter that. So they need to make it work a little bit better here. This flank's going to be interesting, but they can't throw that accretion out and not get value with it on the Laser.
You do get the Blizzard coming out early here, and that's the tank line down. You take out Scars, but it's not really going to be enough, as you also lose Purple Orb. Meteor Strike coming in, maybe we didn't need to, but they're only going to have 13 seconds left to touch point. So this is going to be very hard for Mad Flyers to win this out here.
Oh, and that punch on the Ghosty, nobody's going to be able to touch it. Oh, that guy Tyler got there. That guy Tyler did get there, but at the cost of Puff's life.
Yeah, and you have those beat and Coalescence coming out from No, as, you know, Mad Flyers just dancing around point, but they are getting a little bit of space as No realize they can just back up and take a fight a bit stronger here with positioning and taking down that guy Tyler and Fishies and Kai, and that is going to be everyone except for the tank line here going down, but Ghosty goes down, and so you only have the Orisa left on point, and the Orisa falls, and that is going to be that map.
Yeah, very unfortunate there. I thought, you know, the Mad Platters really had a chance. They had a really strong opening attack, but they just got stopped at that archway. Good call by No to make the decision to leave that first point and reset and take an early hold on second. And they were rewarded for it with the map win. They've definitely been showing that they can play this meta very well. Both Scars and Laser Blitz have had their moments on the Reaper and the Doomfist respectively, and that's going to be incredibly dangerous. The Mad Platters, unfortunately, just can't seem to find their way into that meta. Kai and Purple Worm, I really think they should consider swapping roles. I feel like Purple Worm has shown us a little bit more on the Doomfist than Kai has, and it seems to me that Kai is a really good hit scan player based on the Widow performances that we saw and the swaps to McCree and whatnot. So to me, you'd be wanting to play them on the Reaper anyways, as more traditionally your hit scan player plays the Reaper. But it's just not going to work out for them today. No, obviously getting the 3-0 here, and we're going to have one more map here. It's going to be Havana. What do you think of this newer map, Havana, there, Rainbow?
You know, I really don't know what to think. I haven't played it that much, if I'm going to be honest, in tournament play. But, you know, it's a very interesting map, and I think everyone's still kind of figuring out what you should do, and I think it's always interesting to watch those close holds right at the spawn doors here on Havana. And, you know, it's interesting to see what teams are pulling out, because I don't think there's, as with some other maps that are a lot older, those as defined strats that you'll see.
Yeah, I'm really a fan of Havana. Havana, you know, as a map to me is so interesting because the 3 points are so incredibly different. It reminds me kind of a lot of Route 66 kind of, in the sense that you have 2 points that are kind of similar, but the key difference with Havana is that the different point is in the middle of them, right? So you have that kind of open-ish first point, and then you go into a really tight, congested second point, followed by, once again, a very open third point. So it makes it very hard for teams to kind of game plan Havana, because a comp that might, you know, capitalize on the more openness of the first point may not do as well on that second point and runs the risk of getting stopped second point. But then if you make a swap onto a comp to, you know, win second point, you kind of have to make another swap again, because you're making, you know, the swaps are so, you can make swaps for the map space, and like I said, the map space, it changes so drastically between the 3 points. It's very hard to game plan.
Yeah, for sure. And something I just wanted to point out, although it does look like he got switched out, is that guy Tyler is doing a lot of work on that main support. And it's rare that you'll see a star player, you know, coming out of the support line, but I think he was really doing a great job on the Moira last map.
Yeah, that guy Tyler was definitely a shining star there for the Mad Platters. Really good usage of that coalescence, keeping the team up, finding kills with it as well. Also putting themselves in very good positions, making things happen. So overall, you know, that guy Tyler is definitely going to be, you know, a support player to watch out for in the future, because that was an incredibly good performance on both of those maps that we saw. especially with that, especially with what we saw there with the Moira, which is going to be very strong going forward. Moira definitely a very favored support in this current meta.
Yeah, it does look like we might be seeing Ghosty switching over to support here and having Party Rooster come in for off tank on the side of Mad Platters. What are your thoughts there on the flexing in the middle of a match?
I mean, it's not impossible to do. That's for sure. I mean, look at Hydration on the LA Gladiators. I know I've referenced them about 3 times now, but really, it's just kind of worked out here. Like, man, oh man, Hydration, right? Mm-hmm. Like the number 1 Sigma on ladder right now, or something crazy like that. Incredibly good Sigma player, but also an incredibly good Doomfist. So Hydration is a person that swaps back and forth, and especially in that matchup against the Spark, looked really good swapping between roles. So I don't think it's unheard of, even at that super, super high level, for those swaps to happen. So I think it's totally possible here for them to perform well, even with a mid-match swap.
Yeah, and of course that's my assumption. Looking at what these people play, I assume that Ghosty will be switching over to that support. Maybe because they're wanting an Ana, because I know that Ghosty can play Ana. So that may be why we're seeing Ghosty switch over. Kind of a pause going on right now, just while we're talking for a while. So what comps do you think we're going to be seeing on the defense here?
Honestly, let's see. It's going to be a defense here from the Mad Platters first. I would not be surprised if they pulled out some Bastion. They seem to be a fan of that. They've had mixed success with it. I mean, we saw a really good opening hold there from King's Row. But once it falls apart past that Bastion for them, they have a really tough go of it. And I mean, yes, you could pull it out here in the hopes that you get a really good hold here. Obviously, you don't usually see full holds on escort maps, but you could obviously see a full hold in the sense of the other team not getting first point. So I think you could pull out the Bastion and play for that. But past that, I don't know what they bring out here. Their Reaper Doom hasn't looked incredible. Their Symmetra was okay. They've just been having kind of a rough go of it. Definitely, they need to find a direction for their team going forward with what kind of style and what comps they need to play. Because we've seen a lot of, not completely different styles, but we've seen a lot of, different comps from them played in different ways that haven't really worked out for them. So I think they just need to kind of find themselves as a team a little bit more.
Yeah, and I'm sure that'll be happening as the season goes on. There's plenty of room
fair.
to
Yeah, it is just stage 1, week 1, right? So we can't judge them too harshly.
Yeah, and they didn't play in the preseason if I remember correctly. So this is their second official match,
which makes it more difficult, right? Scrims are fine, but official matches are definitely their own beast. I mean, in scrims, you can get a lot different quality. I think any of us that have played competitive NA scrims know that scrims can wild very much in quality of your opponents. So it can be difficult sometimes, planning your game plans, and you can, kind of put your effort forth and you can put your effort forth and kind of roll the other team sometimes, or you just get completely rolled. So you're like, oh, well, that just didn't work because the other team was so much better than us. So they were obviously a higher level, or, oh, we rolled those guys with that comp. It's great. So sometimes you can get some really false ideas about what's going to work for you. And really the only way to sort that out is in matches.
Yeah, for sure. We are seeing a potential Bastion coming out on the side of No for the attack here. Along with a Symmetra and Narissa.
That would be interesting. I like this a little bit more here. We're going to see Kai playing that Widowmaker. Although a sniper isn't ideal into a double shield composition, I think that you can still find ways to get value out of it, especially with the Pharah in the skies. The Sigma's probably going to have to devote shielding to that Pharah. So if you're a really aggressive Widow, you go for some hard flanks. I'm talking like Overwatch League Season 1, where they would just go for the hardest flanks possible. You can probably find some picks here.
Doing a lot of shield break there.
Yeah.
No going, straight across there, kind of faking them out at the beginning. And yeah, that's 3 down for Mad Platters to start with, so it's looking like a good initial push that we're going to be getting from now.
I just don't think that was a good hold by their tank line. I'm not sure what Party Rooster and Pups were going there, but that was not the hold that they should have made. I'm interested to see them bringing out the Orisa Hog here, but they need to go for some kind of halt hook combinations, not just throwing hooks and halts out there to use them. You need to combine those 2 cooldowns because they're absolutely massive and they can win you fights. I just think that initial hold was a little too ambitious and didn't give the DPS the space to make the plays happen before, before they were kind of pushed on by this Bastion here.
Yeah, and that's already the farmers who taken out of the sky there, so that's a really rough start, and they do get the res onto Scars, so they still have their full team, and it looks like they might be able to basically get through here relatively uncontested.
Kai there with a good pick, but Paper Sword's gonna come back, even it out here. Like I said, the problem is that they just aren't giving Kai and Purple Worm enough space to make plays happen. Kai getting 2 picks there, but yeah. Unfortunate there that at the start of that fight, Purple Worm and Fishies go out very early on. If they don't go out early there, because they really shouldn't have gotten picked off in the position they were in, Pups and Party Rooster probably don't have as much pressure on them. I would also say Ghosty maybe onto a Moira here might be a better pick as well, or something like that that could provide a little bit more raw healing as opposed to Anna's, kind of more focused on laser beam on one person, so to speak. Because I think Kai, with time, is getting the ability to get picks, and I think that Purple Worm can do the same thing. The problem is that they're just not, the tank line is not giving them enough time.
Flank from Purple around to the side though, not getting anything. Did go for a very wide flank there, and we do have the wall coming up, which is just going to provide so much more protection as well that they even already have for this Bastion here. Yeah, and they're just picking off Mad Platters one by one. There was barely even a fight on point B there.
No, that was a really quick roll through point B for sure.
Yeah, it was 5 minutes 20 to get to the end here. That is plenty of time, and they can definitely get this with time in the bank.
And honestly, not gonna lie to you,
Flux there and didn't get anyone though.
Oh, that's a huge hook on the Laser Blitz, my lord.
Yeah, taken down, but we are losing the tank line again here. So that's not great. Paper Sword does go down, and they do get the res on the Party Rooster. So this is kind of going back and forth. They do get the rest on the Paper Sword, and that's going to be the advantage there for No on this attack as the support line goes down.
Yeah, the big unfortunate thing there for the Mad Platters is they had finally gotten Scar's ante, and the Immortality field was actually a little behind the cart, but Scars made the big brain play to just fall back into that Immortality, and Party Rooster went really aggressive to try to hunt that kill on Scars, and if they had gotten it, that would have been huge. Big
Purple gets a pick onto Ochre, but Pups does go down, and Ochre gets res, so that's, gain right there. But, that is a lot of kills coming in for Mad Platters here on the defense. Purple Worm putting in a lot of work here on this Hanzo.
Yeah, I think they might have...
more kills.
They finally were able to get a hold here, and that's what they've needed to have happen. They needed both of their DPS to go on hard flanks, the tank lines to create just enough space for some crucial picks to play in. And if they keep that kind of play up where Purple Worm and Kai are going for hard flanks, like Kai's positioning right now is very in with the team. Go for more aggressive flanks, flip the shield's attention, put their supports at risk, and if you get those big picks, it'll pay off. That's just kind of what they need to be going for here. And oh, what a pick there from Purple Worm on a Scars.
Yeah, and you just kind of saw an example of one of the problems with running the Widow into the Sigma is he can put up a personal shield to entirely block out that Widow. Which is, makes it harder for the Widow to do a lot of work.
I do feel like, however, if you've taken that resource away, then you have the ability with the Hog to have more value in your tank combination if you have one of your DPS that's taking away the Sigma shield, because you have the halt hook combination for the same amount of shielding, whereas they do not. But
It's very true. Huge gravitic flux coming out here, and that is 3 going down for Mad Platters, and they're going to be pushing this payload again. We're just going to be getting a last contest here, and hope they can pull it out. We do have 2 ults on the side of Mad Platters for them to contest this with, but Fishies goes down, so they're not going to be able to be using that ult right now. And Purple gets 1 pick, but then goes down, and they are inches away from getting this capped. And they have relatively no one to contest. You have the Baby Diva and the Mercy who just went down there, and that is going to be that capped with 2 minutes 14 on the clock.
yeah, that's a really good time bank here on Havana. The biggest kind of rip moment there was that when they got tossed up in that Gravatic Flux, Scar on the Widow had all the time in the world to hit those shots. Really nothing you can do there on the side of Mad Platters. You're in the air, you're pretty much locked there. Of course, any half-decent hit scan player who has half a brain is going to go, oh look, free kills, my play of the game, and start hitting those headshots. Good work there, you know, from No to make that combo happen, but just really nothing you could have done there from the Mad Platters to kind of stop that from coming in. Besides just avoid getting Gravatic Fluxed, which is, you know, difficult. It's not the easiest thing to say or do.
Yeah, like, even with some of the heroes where it's easier to get out of it, with, like, Lucio or Diva, where you have, you know, various ways to speed out of it, it's still pretty easy to get caught in that.
Mm-hmm. I really feel like in bunkers here, teams are opting for the Baptiste for that immortality, but I feel like, you know, and this is just my opinion, but I feel like a Lucio gets you more value. You have the ability to move a little bit faster, especially as an Orisa and Sigma, that's a lot of value. You get a little bit more sustained healing over time, and not gonna lie, like, having the ability to boop players away that are trying to get in your face, and also just, I just feel like it adds more value, and that beat, like I talked about in the Gravitic Flux, is a huge counter to that ultimate. They charge up at about the same rate. I'm excited for this spawn hold here from No, though.
Yeah, let's see if they can, you know, pull it off well and get a nice hold. We are seeing the Bastion come out from Mad Platters as well in the attack here. Laser Blitz gets slept and taken out right there, but Purple does go down. He'll, you know, be responding shortly enough and be able to come back here. And yeah, more rain going down. That's 2 lost from No, which are very important because it's going to be a very long walk back. Even if they are losing players on Mad Platters. Scar is getting taken down now. And Ochre getting taken down, that's, you know, a lot of loss. Laser is coming back just now, but there's no bring back this fight really. They're kind of trying to stall it out, but Laser going down again, and Colorwalk's not going to be far behind.
That's still a pretty good hold, almost a minute there for spawn camp. Usually we see those things get put out of their misery right away. But good job there, you know. I think No really came off better for that hold, because they're going to be able to get a fight here right around that corner, which even gives them the chance at a third fight. Because ideally, you're going to win this second fight, hopefully, and what that's going to do is that's going to force them back, the payload back, so that even if you lose the third fight, you get a fourth fight still on point 1.
It's true, we have 1 going down on each side, Cat going down, Colorwalk going down. Colorwalk is like a more important player in the comp as the off-tank. And it's going to be, you know, a nice long walk back, and Paper Sword going down, Ochre going down, lots of important players dropping for No here. And, you know, without those important players, we have Purple Sword getting a 3k on this Bastion. Found is calling, truly. You know, they're losing important players, you know, at the beginnings of fights right here, and, you know, that's always not how you want to start.
No, it really isn't there. Losing the tank line was absolutely huge there for No. The fact that they lost it really is why they lost that fight. We obviously saw Scars get a couple big picks, but it's not enough if you're losing those key players in those key roles. But we're gonna see them get into the second point here with a Mei.
And using Window to try to get some early picks and stop this progress that they have going down. Does take down Purple Orb, but does get rezzed, and Laser Blitz ends up going down. And they use the Bongos as well to keep trying to push here, but maybe a bit too many ults there from the side of No, but they do stop the progress that Mad Platters is making.
I would have to disagree there. They stopped the push with only 3 ultimates. That's not that bad. and you're gonna have 3 ultimates online for the next fight, so you're really not in any danger. Ideally, Scars is gonna be able to build that ultimate up very quickly, Ochre as well, so you're not really in any danger as long as you use your ultimates conservatively this next fight. You know, hopefully your Gravitic Flux should be enough with your Coalescence, then obviously using your Reaper, Death Blossom after, that should be enough to sustain you through these fights.
Yeah, Medusa Bong is coming down along with the tank, takes down both supports for No, and that's gonna be this fight coming in real quick, but that was 4 ults coming out. We also saw the Roadhog ult and the Nano coming down. But yeah, we're gonna have to see No backing up here.
If we want to talk about poor ult usage, that was it. Purple Worm uses the ultimate with the bongo, gets 2 picks. That's already enough. 2 picks is already enough to win you that fight. But then the Nano into the whole hog, just, that's overkill, and you didn't even get any kills out of it. It's not like it mopped up the fight super quickly for you. They're still going to get a contest here. It wasn't a clean fight for you, so you didn't really get the value out of it.
Yeah, they did end up getting the stagger onto Collywug, but Purple Swarm going down at the beginning of this fight, along with Puffs, is going to be No taking back this point right here. And, you know, I think the ult advantage really for No right here.
Yeah, you see that little tunnel where all the players for No came out? That's where you wish you had the whole hog Nano. Just good ult usage here on the side of No, really giving them an advantage. I think they only used the Coalescence into that fight. They have 4 ults on their side now compared to the, I'll call it 1.5 because Kai's pretty close here for the Mad Platters. Just, that's going to be really rough for them, not having the ult advantage, especially with only 2 minutes left to go. It's going to be very easy for No to cycle their ults here well.
You get the Blizzard starting out this fight, does take down Purple, still in the Bastion, and then takes down Party, and that's going to be probably pushing Mad Platters back into their spawn for now. Puff's still kind of sticking it out, getting staggered there.
And even as the ults are starting to come online here for Mad Platters as well, the damage is already done. The ult economy, there's almost 5 ults on the side of No. It is firmly in their favor. They won that fight with a Blizzard, that's it. I mean, yes, you're going to have your Nano, almost your... Oh, Purple Worm swapping too is going to put you even more in the hole here. And like I said, Purple Worm, he's been lackluster today on the Reaper, but hopefully he's going to be able to make some things happen with it here. I just don't know if that's the swap I would have went for personally.
Yeah, starting off with the bongos, again, minute on the clock here. In a Death Blossom coming out and taking down Ghosty. There's 2 very important players lost for Mad Platters on this attack, and, you know, kind of gonna have to push back and try to get, you know, one more good fight here.
Big thing there at the start of that fight, Fishies, Forever, and Kai were going in a flank, and Scars single-handedly stopped that flank. So what that creates is, yes, Scars is in a 2-on-1 situation, but it's a lot easier for a mate to survive that 2-on-1 with a cryogenic freeze, and that gives your team an advantage because No then took that 5-on-4, and they had to dump 1 ultimate into it, and they were easily able to win that. So good job there by Scars by eliminating a high-pressure threat by himself, allowing his team to have the numbers advantage to win that fight.
Yeah, it is Mad Platters going around to touch the fight and really looking to draw the fight over here and get the window coming out from No, and the bongos coming out, I think came out from Puffs there, and a lot of ults being used. Party Rooster going down, and get a Nano Doomfist coming in here. Party Rooster does get res though, but Kai goes down. Just kind of going back and forth here really, and kind of just facing off here. We do have over off to the side. Purple Worm does go down, and the Blizzard coming out from Scars again takes down Pups. Party Rooster going down, and that is them off the point.
Yeah, No here is going to take what I would call a very clean 4-0. They definitely were the better side here. They showed that they had the quality. They had a better control of the meta today. And I think, honestly, they just had some better individual performances happening. We kind of talked about already some of the issues the Mad Platters face today. If they fix those going forward, I think they have a chance, you know, to bounce back in this league. They definitely showed us moments of brilliance and moments where they put No on the back burner. But in all honesty, No was definitely the dominant side today. Much better control of the meta, much better performances all around. So much congratulations to No on their win here in their second matchup for Stage 1.
Yeah, and I definitely don't think that Mad Platters was looking particularly bad. It's just that No's looking a lot better and a lot cleaner than Mad Platters was, thus giving, No the 4-0 here. But I definitely think Mad Platters has a lot of ability to improve, and we could definitely see them, doing pretty decently going forward.
Like I said, they definitely showed us some moments of brilliance. I mean, Ruins, for instance, right? They almost won Ruins on Ilios. They almost, got that full hold on King's Row as well on their defense. So they definitely have the ability to make, plays happen, punish the mistakes of their opponents, use comps to their advantage. They just need to bring it all together all the time. And that was really the biggest issue, was that they were just too inconsistent at this time. And you know what? That's expected, right? As far as we know, they didn't play in the preseason. It's early on in the season. Of course, inconsistency is going to be a big issue for a lot of teams at this time. And that's just going to change as the season goes on, as players get more comfortable on the comps, the rules, so on and so forth. But still, good work to know. They definitely looked very clean today and definitely looked like they had a good control of the meta.
Yeah, for sure. I'm excited to see what they're going to be doing going forward and watching more of their matches.
Yeah, definitely very good. Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in here tonight. My name has been Piper, bringing you the Color Cast. With me, we've had the lovely Reignbow doing the play-by-play. And, of course, huge shout-out going to Abizzle, who is our producer tonight. I mean, we can't make it happen without a producer, so big thanks to him for producing this matchup for us. And, of course, to the two teams, No and the Mad Platters. No coming out on top with the 4-0. Reignbow, any parting words?
Check out the rest, or the other game going on tonight that is getting cast. And make sure to check that out and continue watching all these amazing games.
All right. Well, from everybody here at the Owlet Tournament, thank you so much, guys, and have a good evening.